Hey guys, what's up? MFSauce here, and I have another video for you on Noob's Guide of League of Legends. And this one, I'm going to cover champion building. Basically, obviously, as you see, I don't have, well, this is quite a bit of money, but it's not enough for a full build, nowhere near. But basically, the main thing with champion building, where people make mistakes, you know, new people make mistakes, is they will buy things that are just really not necessary for their champion whatsoever. So the first thing is understand your champion, understand what type of champion they are and what role they do. You know what I mean? Like, at the minute I'm Katarina, so she's a melee assassin, but she obviously excels in using her abilities. You couldn't really just go in and auto attack people, so you don't really want to build her with much AD. If you build her with anything AD, it would be pretty useless. Obviously some things you want to get, because obviously her ultimate scales hybrid. You know, you get AD and AP damage from it, and that's a good thing that you can tell as well. If you hover over the abilities, you'll see where the abilities scale from. If you see the green brackets with a number in, that means it scales from AP. If you see the orange, it scales from AD. So obviously, as you see, orange and green, and there, orange and green, but then green and green. So that's why a lot of people who play Katarina focus on the AP, which that is definitely spot on. That's what I do. But also you need to remember, she's an assassin. She's going to be squishy, so she's going to basically be quite easy to kill if you don't deal with her fast. I mean, if you deal with her fast, she'll be easy to kill. But if you don't deal with her fast, then she'll just be in, kill you, and out. And that's it. But as for building her, you want to go for, like, obviously, as she's such a squishy person, you want sustain. So that's like, I always like to look through the recommended and pick things out, but then if there's anything not in there, I'll go into the all items and actually check it out. But like Hextech Gunblade, that is like a must for Katarina. If you have a Hextech Gunblade, then that means, like, look, Hextech Revolver gives you ability power and spell vamp. And with spell vamp, you basically just, with your abilities, you will return health to yourself. And then the Bilgewater Cutlass, it gives attack damage and lifesteal. And lifesteal, obviously, that's you heal yourself using auto attacks. So it gives AD and AP, and it gives spell vamp and lifesteal. And obviously, when it's fully built, it gives all of them, but just boosted. So basically, your ultimate, then you're going to deal a lot of damage, and you're going to return a lot of health to yourself as well. So it gives you sustain. You can stay in lane longer. You can perhaps even survive a nuke. It just depends. Then, for example, after you've got your sustain, that's when you want to work on whether you want to go dealing a lot of damage, or whether you want to, like, obviously if you're a tank, for example, you want health, you want armor, you want magic resist. You basically want to work on what the enemy team has, and obviously if you hold tab, you'll see, obviously the enemy team is just Ari on this. So for example, if I was going to build anything defensive against an Ari, it would be health and magic resist. But a good item for Katarina, for basically tankiness and all that, is the Riley's Crystal Scepter. It gives you ability power, it gives you health, and the unique passive, that's always something you should read, what passives the item has. The unique passive of the Riley's Crystal Scepter slows enemy targets. Enemies that are hit by your spells will be slowed. That's just awesome. And Zhonya's Hourglass, huge AP, gives you armor, and the unique active of it, so in other words, when you activate the ability, that's not a passive. So like, for example, say like I had it in slot 1, if I pressed 1, I'd activate it, and what it does, it basically freezes your champion still for 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds, but during that time you can't take any damage or anything. So like, if someone's just used their ultimate and you want to avoid it or something like that, just use Zhonya's Hourglass. Or if your cooldowns are like 2 seconds away, quickly use Zhonya's Hourglass so you ain't taking any damage, and then bam, you can be straight back in dealing damage with your cooldowns again. But then they're defensive. On the other hand, if you want to go offensive, like for example, if you're an ability power person, this is the main item really for dealing massive damage, and that's a Rabadon's Death Cap. It gives you a huge 120 ability power, and it also increases your total ability power by 30%. So that means all the ability power you will ever gain will be increased by 30%, which means if you buy, say, something that gives you 100 ability power, you'll actually get 130 for that item. So that's a massive must for an ability power. And then Void Staff. It gives you ability power, and it also has magic penetration. So basically, it just, if any enemy has magic resist, magic penetration will hit through it. So magic pen is basically, in the sense, like I said, if you understand your role, if you're an assassin, and whether it's AP or AD, you want penetration. It's just like a must, you know what I mean? Like if you're an AP assassin like Katarina, you want magic pen. If you're a AD assassin like Zed or something, you want armor pen, which armor penetration. It's just a must, you know what I mean? Like, because obviously an assassin wants to come in, deal huge damage, and then get out of there, because obviously they're not tanky. They'll just basically lose health like there's nothing. Oh, but yeah, that's like basically it. This is just like, obviously these are small videos, but that's what I'd recommend. Just like, look, 2 items there, and then I don't know, say pick up that there. And what's my ability power? Already on 387 ability power, which will basically massively, look at that, massively increase the damage that I deal. Oh, and there we go, we've got minions coming in. Super minions, oh god. But yeah, let's see if I can heal myself a bit. Yeah, see, look, the abilities heal me. Which, it's just awesome to have spell vamp and lifesteal when you're playing Katarina, because that's just like, because she dies really fast. If she's focused, she's going to go down very, very fast. But like, just remember, understand your role. Always look at the champion before you play. Like, if you're playing a bruiser, what do you want? You want health, you want damage. You know what I mean? You don't want to get a bruiser and then start building them like they're some sort of AD carry. You don't want to just get things like, I don't know, say an Infinity Edge, Phantom Dancer, Bloodthirster, all that. Because then you're just turning them into a glass cannon. Which, obviously, they're just going to go down like nothing if they're focused. Whereas a bruiser, that's just technically like, say, having an off tank. You're going to deal a lot of damage, but you're also going to be very durable. You're going to be able to take a lot of damage, which makes you awesome for ganks and things like that. But yeah, like I said, I'll leave this here. I've been OMF Saws, and if you've enjoyed it, I'd appreciate a like and a comment. And if you have any other ideas for my noob guide to League, then drop that in the comments below also. I've been OMF Saws, and until next time, peace.